American ladders and scaffolds. We take you higher.
Fight go past the second round. Very much looking forward to that one. Also looking forward to our second fight of the night, Daniel Rodriguez.
Sets that screen for Lopez up top. So tough for Lopez to retreat back to Tolliver that he has an option to flip it in or to shoot himself to Bledsoe again. To get himself an easy floater in the ring. Look for that 9 and 17 4-point man for the Bucks with 22 and Milwaukee shooting 51%. This is
Enrico Farrington, a couple of southpaws. Farrington long and rangy. Rodriguez, one of the more exciting fighters you will see in the octagon.
Oh, yes, 100. 100%. This man is all out action. Unfortunately, he used to have a few skirmishes on the street as well. Undefeated street fighter, according to him. That obviously got him in trouble with the law. He's put all that behind him. He's on the right path. He's fighting mixed martial arts, and let me tell you, this man's a knockout artist. Great submissions and heavy, heavy hands.
When you look at Farrington, this is a guy that's coming in on a 6-fight win streak, but he's had a 592-day layoff.
Yeah, well, that shouldn't matter tonight because he might have had a long layoff, but he's also got a long reach, 79-inch reach, I believe, 6'4". I mean, you can see it on display there. The question is, can he use it? So far, so good. He's got a big left hand. I've seen him drop that left hand, follow it up with uppercuts to knock people out. And as I say, I mean, just look at it. That is a massive advantage to have on any single opponent. And tonight, he's looking for a big win, as usual.
And his last win over Michael Cora, a Contender Series veteran. The question everybody wants to know is, how generous will Dana White be when it comes to handing out those UFC contracts? Well, we're going to find out tonight. Let's take a look at the rules of the Octagon. 3 judges score the bout duration, 3 5-minute rounds. Our featured bout, also 3 5-minute rounds. A 10-point must-scoring system is in effect. The round winner gets 10 points. The opponent gets 9 or fewer. As always, scoring is based on effective striking and grappling, aggression, and Octagon control. Here's the full fight card. In addition to the 2 fights we talked about earlier, we have a women's flyweight bout on the card. 25-year-old Tracy Cortez looking to hand Maria Agapova the first loss of her career. And an intriguing matchup between a couple of featherweights. Kansas native Steve Wynn and Alon Cruz, who's hoping to go from stocking grocery store shelves to the UFC. Our night starts, though, with the big boys. A former pro hockey player, Mike Martinek's second athletic chapter has seen him race out to a perfect 7-0 record in MMA. Tonight, he puts that O on the line against fellow unbeaten Rodrigo Nascimento.
I am Michal Martinek, I am 29 and I am from Rangers MMA team Prague. I am here to win the fight, to destroy my opponent and to have a contract with UFC. Before my career in MMA, I was a professional hockey player, and after ending my career, I was starting with MMA. In hockey, I cannot take my gloves down, and I cannot to fight with the guy because it was a big trouble with the referees. But after, I want to be a cage and have no rules and can destroy everything everywhere. You know, I like. For me, it's a way of my life, and this is there is a point because I love fighting. My professional record is 7-0, and I like modern MMA combat. I like everything. I like wrestling with ground and pound. I like stand-up. I like every movement in modern MMA. In my prepare is also in Sweden, All-Star Academy, and I'm sparring partner for Alexander Gustafsson, Jimmy Manua, and Tadej Latifi.
Power beast. This is beast.
I am ready for everything because this is a big names, and I am their sparring partners, and I think that it's cool things for me.
Meu nome é Rodrigo Nascimento Ferreira, tenho 26 anos e represento a He-Man Team em Belo Horizonte. Contrato do UFC significa para mim ser a nova geração dos pesos pesados. O que eu tenho diferente dos outros lutadores é o meu jeito versátil, o meu jeito de lutar, o jeito pra frente. Eu sou um cara diferente, eu vou ser a nova geração dos pesos pesados. Essa chance vai ser minha e eu vou assinar o contrato. Eu nasci em Belo Horizonte, Minas Gerais, Brasil. Eu moro num bairro que chama Santa Terezinha, né? É um bairro carente lá da região. E pra mim foi bom, né, tá lá porque eu tive o primeiro contato com a arte marcial lá, com o meu professor, o Tom. Não tá mais entre a gente, mas foi um cara muito importante pra mim. Infelizmente, em 2012, eu perdi meu primeiro professor, meu primeiro mentor, né? 2 dias antes de uma luta minha. Foi um momento muito difícil, a pesagem foi muito difícil. Tava, assim, desestabilizado. Mas os números mostram que eu consegui focar na luta e eu sou invicto por causa disso. Consegui tirar o que tinha de melhor naquele momento, consegui ganhar a luta e ele me ensinou muita coisa. Eu tenho 6 lutas e 6 vitórias no MMA profissional. Tenho 4 vitórias por finalização, 2 por nocaute. Os outros pesos pesados devem se preocupar comigo porque eu tô vindo com tudo, eu quero isso pra mim. E essa chance tá vindo de uma forma muito boa, né? Que tá sendo lutar com a tartaruga, que é o Mikael.
He can think what he wants, but I know what I am, so I think that I am much stronger. If I hit him, he will sleep. Nothing stopped me to the fight in UFC.
Nada disso me assusta, porque o meu jogo é melhor que dele, eu tenho mais armas que ele. Eu vim pra ganhar, vim pra vencer, e vim pra assinar esse contrato e mostrar que eu sou a nova geração dos pesos pesados.
first fighter of the night, Mike Black. Really tell us how many
Best up and coming. 60 wins. Looking for the best talent in MMA. Should be a very fun one, guys.
Thank you, Laura. Cam.
He's got, looking for the knockout as always, undefeated as a professional and also undefeated as an amateur.
And Sharon, on the other end of the spectrum, he's finished all of his wins by submission.
Yeah, exactly. 2 rear naked chokes and 2 guillotines. This guy was raised in Brooklyn, had some tough times, went to a lot of different foster homes, settled in Boston, and then since there got into mixed martial arts. Said he was always a fighter, went out there, put on the false small 4-ounce gloves with his brother. They beat the crap out of each other. They thought they'd go find a gym. 4 months later, he was having his pro fight, and here he is tonight.
He has not had a fight go past the second round. Very much looking forward to that one. Also looking forward to our second fight of the night, Daniel Rodriguez and Rico Farrington. A couple of southpaws. Farrington long and rangy. Rodriguez, one of the more exciting fighters you will see in the octagon.
Oh yes, 100%. This man is all out action. Unfortunately, he used to have a few skirmishes on the street as well. Undefeated street fighter, according to him. That obviously got him in trouble with the law. He's put all that behind him. He's on the right path. He's fighting mixed martial arts, and let me tell you, this man's a knockout artist, great submissions and heavy, heavy hands.
When you look at Farrington, this is a guy that's coming.
If I hit him, he will sleep. Nothing stopped me to the fight in UFC.
Nada disso me assusta, porque o meu jogo é melhor que dele, eu tenho mais armas que ele. Eu vim pra ganhar, vim pra vencer, e vim pra assinar esse contrato e mostrar que eu sou a nova geração dos pesos pesados.
And our first fighter of the night, Mike Blackbeard Martinek, the former pro hockey player, now a bouncer and a bodyguard, hoping to be a UFC fighter in the very near future. The #1 ranked heavyweight in the Czech Republic. 7-0 in his last 6 fights, all under the Octagon MMA banner.
Yeah, exactly. Doing very, very well so far, as you said, undefeated. And as he mentioned earlier on, he trains with Leah Latifi, Jimmy Manuwa, Alexander Gustafsson. And that is absolutely huge, because if you go in there and you train with people of that caliber and you're doing well in the gym, and, you know, heaven forbid I say, even you're winning rounds and doing well, you know, that gives you a lot of confidence, certainly walking into the contender. And obviously you want to get to the UFC. So if you train with people like that, you're coming in here, you're fit, you're fresh, but mentally, you're very, very confident.
You heard Laura talk about the undefeated fighters on the card tonight. We start with 2 of them right here. Martinek's last fight, a TKO win over Daniel Dietrich in the 3rd round for the Octagon heavyweight title. That was almost a year ago to the day, so it's been a minute.
Oh yeah, and this guy likes to wrestle as well. He's not a classically trained wrestler, but he likes to get the body lock, drag his opponent down from there, look for ground and pound and get the submission, or just beat them into submission. But that might not be a good idea against his opponent, who's got very, very good jiu-jitsu.
And speaking of his opponent, here he is, Rodrigo Nascimento. They call him the Yogi Bear. Zo Colmeia, translation in Portuguese is Yogi Bear. He had an old teammate when he trained in jiu-jitsu very early on who said, you know, you kind of look like Yogi Bear. I'm just going to call you that. Do you remember Yogi Bear's favorite line?
I'm going to get that big in the basket, or something like that.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. And his other one, I'm smarter than your average bear. Maybe we'll find out tonight just how smart he is.
Well, he definitely sounds smarter than me after you made me do that impression. And he does look a little bit like Yogi Bear. Anyway, enough of that. This guy's the real deal when he fights. Another undefeated professional here walking in. This is a clash of styles, as I said before, because his opponent likes to take people down to the floor. I'm not sure that is a good idea, but if this plays out on the feet, it's going to be a lot of fun.
He is the 140, minus 140 favorite is Nascimento. This is going to be an interesting one because he's only fought once in the last 2 years and 3 times since 2014.
Yeah, and it's very, very hard actually to find footage of this guy on the internet. I found a couple of fights on there, look pretty impressive. I'm not sure if Mikael has actually had a chance to study him or not. But, you know, sometimes it doesn't matter. Once the referee says fight, you fight on instinct. He's taking a little moment here, obviously saying a prayer. But here we go.
And we have a delayed appearance. If you remember, he was supposed to fight on Contender Series Brazil last year, but had some visa issues, and that's why he hasn't fought more recently. Our first fight of the night about to get underway. Chris Tognoni is going to be our referee. But before we send it over to Chris, let's start with the tail of the tape. You can see the definite weight advantage for Nascimento, and Martinek also suffering at a disadvantage in terms of the reach. So Rodrigo definitely the bigger man here as we send it down to Chris Tognoni. He's getting a lot of airtime so far.
Oh yeah.
Ready? Ready? Here we go. Fight!
Episode 6 now underway. Nascimento and Mike Blackbeard Martinek. Martinek wearing the gray trunks, connecting on the kick.
Oh! That knee connected there from Nascimento. I was just about to say, every time I've seen Martinek fight, he always opens with that left kick. Always a weapon of southpaws that they like to go to, but he got a little too close there, and Nascimento made him pay with that knee.
Do not underestimate the athleticism of Martinek, by the way. Being a former pro hockey player, he finds himself backed up against the cage.
Yeah, that's right. Used to get into a few scraps on the hockey pitch, but nothing like this. But you can see the size difference between these two. Martinek's managed to turn him around and got him up against the fence looking for a takedown, I think. As I said before, it's not the smartest thing to do when somebody's got so many submissions on the record, but when you get kneed in the face like that, sometimes you're like, you know what? I'm not really feeling the way this is going down.
It kind of changes the game plan just a little bit,
100%. Well, as Mike Tyson said back in the day, everybody has a game plan until they get hit in the face. Oh, that was a nasty knee. There it is.
For the takedown, but it's Nascimento that ends up on top.
Yeah, looking for that body lock takedown again that I mentioned, but you can just see the thickness for Nascimento. It's a big weight advantage there, and Martinek ended up underneath, which is not where you want to be.
Certainly the toughest fight of his career for Martinek.
Nascimento doing a great job here, controlling the feet, swinging down punches. Martinek's got to get back to his feet. He can't be happy to lie here. I mean, now Nascimento's past guard. This is a terrible position, and he was trying to mount there, but Martinek took his time. He seemed happy to lie here. I mean, now Nascimento's past guard. This is a terrible position, and he was trying to mount there. Martinek's got to get back to his feet. He can't be happy to lie here. I mean, now Nascimento's past guard. This is a terrible position, and he was trying to mount there, but Martinek took his time. He seemed happy to lie here. I mean, now Nascimento's past guard. This is a terrible position, and he was trying to mount there, but Martinek he can't be happy to lie here. I mean, now Nascimento's past guard. This is a terrible position, and he was trying to mount there, but Martinez took his time. He seemed happy and content to just lie there for a moment. He cannot do that.
Watch the back of the head.
I don't think we can underestimate the difference in level of competition for Martinek. He opened as a 2-1 favorite. Now he's the underdog at plus 125 coming in.
Yeah, the book is loving a bit of Nascimento action. And rightly so, he's getting off to a great start. As I say, Martinek's got to, he's got to try and re-guard. He's not showing anything off his back here. So far, I haven't seen him try and re-guard, try and get, his opponent between his legs. That's the first thing you got to do. Nascimento's just controlling him. Of course, easier said than done. He's a big, heavy, strong man that knows how to use his weight. But Martinez's got a hip escape here. He's got to do something.
Certainly Nascimento, the most aggressive fighter thus far.
Yeah, this is a really, really bad position for Martinek now. He's very close to being mounted.
If you're Martinek on your back right now with just under 2 minutes to go in the first round, the most important thing to do is what?
Well, he's going to try and get back to his guard. He's in a very, very bad position here, and he's about to get choked out by a head and arm. He's got it locked in. He's going to put that knee on the floor and then drive forward. There's the tap.
Martinek does not last long. Rodrigo Nascimento, the biggest win of his career. The 26-year-old from Brazil improves to 7-0 as a professional.
And that was really impressive because I was impressed with Martinek from what I saw. He looked like a decent fighter. I thought he'd be a good addition to the UFC heavyweight roster. And Nascimento went in there and made sure it worked. Hit a knee, took him down, ground and pound, choked him out.
Just almost clinical, very systematic. He avoids the body lock, something that Martinek did so often on the European tour. Couldn't do that against a bigger, stronger Nascimento. And Yogi Bear is the smartest bear.
All right, there's the head kick, which actually connected with the knee. That put Michalek on the back foot. Now here we go, gets the takedown, tries for the body lock. That's what he likes, but the bigger man wins out there. Bit of strength, bit of power, bit of hip balance, and now he's in a bad position. Raining down blows, and he's setting up the head and arm. You see there, that leg just pops out to the side because the position that he was in. And from here, it's all over. It's only a matter of time. Gets the squeeze, big man, got to tap out. Well done.
And there's a look at Danis thinking, okay, we could always use another heavyweight on the roster. 26-year-old, he's a Brazilian. Hey.
Listen, it was impressive, and yeah, no offense. The heavyweight roster always needs new blood, and I'd like to see him in the UFC. That was very, very impressive. Doesn't get much better than that.
No, it doesn't. And by the way, his finish rate now still 100%.
Yeah.
How good is that?
Hey, that's what you want.
All right, let's go to Laura Sanko in the octagon to make it official.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Chris Tione has called a stop to this bout at 3 minutes and 16 seconds of round number 1, declaring the winner by submission due to arm triangle, Rodrigo Nascimento.